So recently I watched the documentary on America's Next Top Model and also Fit for TV. And before we get into reviewing those individual shows, I would like to talk about the matter at hand, which is body image and beauty standards. This is definitely something that I feel like we can all relate to a certain degree, and I can definitely relate to it a lot, which is why I felt like I wanted to talk about it today, or I should talk about it, because it's a very vulnerable thing to just be open about. But like, it's about time. If not now, then when? So let's get into it. I would just like to speak of it from my perspective before we get into like a zoomed out and a more objective point of view. Like, this is just my thoughts, these are my feelings, this is my experience. The big YouTube person that I am, I was watching YouTube the other day and I came across this video that was like, what to do when you feel ugly. And I was so intrigued by it, just by the title by itself, before I even watched the video, because I was like, that is something that I can really feel. Like, what I'm about to talk about today is something that I feel like this is one of the biggest conflicts that I have experienced in my life, to say the least. And I don't even think I can express it enough with words, but I can try at least. And one of the prompts that she had when she was talking about this topic was, when was the first time that you felt ugly? And I remember thinking to myself, it was definitely in high school. Because again, my life from like 14 going this way, I have had the best time of my life. I really was cruising. Everything was coming up Terry. I never really had to worry about stuff. Like education wise, everything was great. Social wise, everything was fantastic. Like, I was the popular kid and whatnot. There was just a lot of things that were working for me. And then we got to like high school, and I don't know, the turns really tabled. Like, they really tabled. Like, it was not even funny. It wasn't funny at all. So that was one of the moments where I started really being aware of myself and really wondering who I really am, and what is actually going on, really. So yeah, it was when I was 14, and you know, we're looking around. Like, obviously high school is a new experience, new environment and everything like that. And it was just like, oh, that was the first time I was like, oh, spoiler alert, I don't think we are doing very well, in the sense that, again, that was the time that I was starting to get to learn about like the beauty standards and like what is seen to be desirable, in a sense. It's coming to find out that, you know, there's a certain body type that is more glorified than any other. And obviously you will look at yourself and be like, okay, so do I fit that body type? Am I part of the cool girls? Am I part of this and that? And according to my standards, according to my perception, I did not fit that standard. And that was the beginning of the downhill curve. That was when things started really going downwards, because I'm like, it's like finding out that you are at the bottom of the food chain. It's finding out that you don't tick the boxes that are required for you to be called beautiful. And here's the thing, nobody outright told me that, hey, you know, you're actually kind of ugly, you're actually kind of chopped. Nobody told me that. It's always been something that came from me to me. No one has ever actively like put me down and be like, you know what, you're not beautiful, you know what, you're not supposed to be here, you don't belong here. Nobody has ever told me that. It just came out of me, and for some reason I've never been able to beat it to this very day. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's like I was looking around and everybody's like getting assets, you know, because it's like puberty then again, right? And everybody's like getting all these things, and like the chest and the bum and the and the this and the that. Is like you are blossoming into womanhood, and then me, I'm there just going through puberty, and I'm waiting for that to hit me, and it's not hitting, it's not reaching. I'm like, any minute now they should be coming in, but they did not come in to this day. And I'm just telling myself, maybe this puberty, like there's a last adult puberty at like 25, I think, at 25, and I'm just saying, oh God, please, any minute, please, God, show up. Like, it will be great. is what I tend to think a lot of the times. That was the first time that I felt ugly. Like, that was the first time that I got very aware of myself. And how did I cope with it? A very simple answer: humor. Humor, two things: humor and social withdrawal. And I used to be like a social butterfly. Like I said, back in primary, I was like very social, and I was at the man. People are coming to me to ask me questions. People are coming to me to borrow stuff, to ask for advice and stuff like that. And then now you've gone to like a place where you're like kind of, you just disappeared into the crowd. You don't really fit in whichever way that you try to. Or okay, I didn't try that much. Like the number of times that I tried and failed, I was like, you know what? Never mind. See you. I can stay by myself. It's cool, it's fine, I'm not going to die, clearly. But it still wasn't healthy, because I still have to undo those effects to this very day, where I just stayed to myself, and I was like, you know what, as long as I don't have to like stand in comparison to anyone, I should be perfectly fine. But in reality, it was just me being avoidant with the problem. And even humor, in the sense that I tend to make jokes a lot about it. I even made a whole 2-part video about my high school experience, and it was very funny. It was very haha, like that happened, ha ha ha. But in reality, it was never okay. Like a lot of things that happened were not okay. But I just don't know how else to go about it. I don't know how else to describe that experience without trying to add humor to it, so that it can be palatable, so that it can be bearable, so that people don't have to worry about me and be like, are you okay? I don't need you to ask me that, you know. So even when it comes to like body image stuff, I just end up making so many jokes about it. So yeah, I either make so many jokes about it, or I just don't talk about it at all. And then I proceed to cry at night, to cry myself to sleep. And then we wake up and make jokes. And then, you know, and the cycle goes on and on and on and on. The aftermath of this behavior for over 6 years, what do you think happened with that? Is I ended up having this really strong belief system that I am not deserving. And here's the thing. Starting to be very like self-deprecating, you know, using self-deprecating humor and just putting myself down all the time definitely seeped into my self-esteem. So that was another thing that just went like this and this and this, like a snowball effect, and it just got bigger and bigger. Because now the thing is, one thing that I have come to realize in this life is that the worst thing you can do to yourself is have low self-esteem. Having low esteem is such a disservice to yourself, because you end up missing out on a lot of opportunities, on a lot of good things, because you don't think that you are deserving of them. And that's exactly what I did to myself. To this day, I still have to wake up and tell myself, actually, no, you should get that. No, you're deserving of achieving that. No, you should. Oh my God, it really affects everything around you in such a negative way, and we don't even realize it until you look at things in retrospect and you realize, oh my God, things could have been so much better. Because, for example, for me, high school and university, I would have definitely had a much better experience if I had been more social. I did have some friends, but it's the kind of situation where the friends that I made are the ones I stuck to, and I never bothered to try to like be outgoing or anything like that because of the fear of rejection. In high school, I can count on one hand. Yeah, I can count on one hand the number of functions that I went to, because I kept telling myself, no, what if I go and then no guy talks to me? Because I was looking funny. I was always looking funny. Yeah, what if I go and then no one talks to me? And then like, it's just that whole thing. I didn't want to like be in an environment that I could not control. At least in school, I had gotten to a point where I knew my do's and don'ts, you know, like I had my own safe environment. So I was like, I'm not going to leave this. I would rather just stay here and look down upon myself, as opposed to going outside and having someone look down on me, you know. No, I'll do it myself. I'll do it at home. It's perfectly fine. So I would have had a much better experience in both institutions if only I had opened myself up more. I never got to date. I only started dating at 23, 22. Yes, at 22. I am 24 right now. And even at that 22, I didn't even stick around for long enough, because I have always had this belief. I always tell myself in my head that, well, for one, I don't think that I am lovable. I don't believe that I am lovable. And even in the situation where I end up like attracting someone, my head continues to convince me that they will eventually see you. The closer they get to you, they will know who you are. And then they will realize, oh, you're actually boring. Oh, you're actually horrible. Oh, you're not even pretty. Oh, you're this and that. And then they will leave you. So in an attempt to control that situation, I left before he could leave. And to this day, honestly, I was like, he deserved better for sure. But yeah, it was just me being an avoidant because I was afraid of being heart because I was afraid of somebody else confirming the thoughts or the beliefs that I already had in my head about myself. It sucks. It really, really, really sucks. And even when it comes to like the job market, I have to really jump through hoops to tell myself that you can get this position, you can get this position. And even right now in the whole, because we're still like, it's still in the job search place, it can really bring you down because I already have this belief that I'm trying to undo, but I already have this belief, this innate thing that tells me that I am not deserving. So every time that I try to apply for something and they don't even care to like call me back or something like that, it's like it confirms it. It goes ahead to confirm it. And that's why I'm saying I have to jump through hoops. I have to work overtime to tell myself, no, it's okay, it's just a part of the process, just a part of the process. Like, it's not anything necessarily wrong with you. So yeah, up until this point, it has just been a journey that's been pretty difficult. That's just been a lot of just a lot of putting myself down for whatever reason. And even in the moments when I do feel pretty, right, I may end up going online or going outside, and you meet other people who are just like so much prettier, and you're like, oh my god, never mind. I was joking. I actually don't think I can, and even when I end up like talking to people who I think are like so much better than me and stuff like that, and they try to compliment me, the first thing I will do is just start to bring myself down and be like, oh no, it doesn't look good, this dress isn't even nice, oh, I even bought it for 50 bob. If there's something that I would want to undo, it is having low self-esteem. It really, really is, because it's not easy at all. It's not easy because you literally are your own worst enemy. You're the one who stands in your own way for a lot of things that I don't even think I can express them fully, but I can only try. I'm just gonna go ahead and put a disclaimer. If you think that there is like a solution to it, like if I am trying to talk about it from a point of, oh, I went through this and I'm out of it, honey, that's not the situation. This is just me saying where I am at right now. So the solution, or how do I survive? I'm sorry, I came to find out that you were actually seeing the roof. I'm really sorry, I'm using my back camera, so I'm not really sure whether you can even see me right now, because you could be looking at somebody else at the back. Is there someone at the back? The solution, or I wouldn't necessarily call it solution, I would just call it how do I survive, like what has been working for me up until this point, because I reached a point and I was sick and tired. I am sick and tired of always feeling like she's the one who's at the bottom of the food chain constantly. And I was like, honestly, I have to at least try, because I have hated myself for 7 years straight, and look where that got me. So it's about time maybe we try to find if there's something else that can work for us. So this is how I have been surviving. Number one, when it comes to not feeling pretty, when it comes to just not having a positive body image, this is what I do. Number one is, what works for you? When do you feel beautiful? For me, I really like the clean girl aesthetic. Like, there's just something about it that makes me happy, that makes me feel put together. So I always make a point to like make sure that I am well groomed, that the clothes that I'm wearing I actually like, which is why I am a certified outfit repeater. If I like something, if I like how I feel in something, that's what I'm going to wear till the day I die. Number two, dress your body type. Learn what works and what you like, just like I had said. It's just doing a lot of research and looking around, and even figuring things out by wearing them and seeing what do I feel confident in. For me, I came to just accept that I really like official wear. That's just that. It just makes me feel confident for whatever reason. It makes me feel comfortable. It makes me feel just good in my body. It makes me feel beautiful in my own skin. So I chose my aesthetic and I stuck to it. Although now I try to move a bit more to like casual. What do they call it? Casual something. I'll find the word. But yeah, it's just also just continuing to experiment and seeing what things work for my body type. Number three, practicing affirmations. which is not easy. It's not easy because especially on the days when you're feeling really low, when you're feeling like, oh my god, I look like Shrek, matter of fact, those are the days that you're actually supposed to put your back into those affirmations and you tell yourself you are worthy and you are deserving and you are beautiful and you are safe and you're secure and you're catered for, all those things. Because if you don't, given that I studied psychology, I have the understanding of the subconscious mind and I know exactly what I did to it for me to get to the point that I am at today, which is why I really had to lock in on the affirmations, because I have to go in there to that lower part of the mind and tell it and show it, hey, it wasn't true that you are not deserving. It was not true that you're it was not true that you're not beautiful. It was not true that you're not deserving of good things. It wasn't true. I have to go in there and tell myself and like pull those beliefs out of that system that I built brick by brick on my own accord. I really have to do that, which is why I really have to like practice affirmations a lot, because I know that's one of the ways to get to your subconscious mind. Number 3 is to reroute your thoughts, which is what we call cognitive restructuring. So it's catching yourself in the negative thoughts. It's catching yourself when you are having self-deprecating, even just behaviors, when you're about to be like, oh no, this dress is actually ugly. No, I stop myself and be like, oh yeah, thank you for that compliment. Yeah, this is really nice. Actually, I got it from here and here. It's not always just being like, why do I always have to be the one that is stepping on myself? Why do I have to be my own biggest enemy all the time? Literally, I have no home to go back to, even after people have not been nice. And then I'm also not nice to myself. Like, where am I supposed to go? You know, at least there's one thing that I can control, which is how I act, which is how I treat myself, you know, which is why nowadays, every time I'm just about to have like a negative thought, that's like, oh, you know, you're ugly. I'm like, we don't need that today. Not today, Satan. Not today. Not today. Number 4 is following people who look like you. I feel like that it's still something that I'm really working on. I'm still trying to like, you know, find them. But I feel like it really helps to not make sense, but like normalize. It helps to normalize my body type in my head, because I have like for the longest you keep seeing all these other body types and it's like, oh yeah, that's what they want, that's what they want, that's what they want. But what do I want? You know, it is trying, because here's the thing, because I came to find out that I tend to be a lot kinder to other people than I am to myself, in the sense that even people who have the same body type that I do, I will somehow find them beautiful. But when I look back at me, I don't do that. And I'm like, where is the grace that you accord everyone else when it comes to you? So it's, if I can find that person to be beautiful, then surely I can find that energy and direct it towards myself. The next one is accepting that some days you genuinely will not feel like it. And that's okay. Even without comparison, you just will end up feeling meh. You know those days when you just wake up and nothing is working? And you know you've tried even your best outfit and you're just not feeling it? It's extending some grace, it's extending some little energy, just putting it in the bank, knowing that there is a day that I will wake up and I will not feel myself, and that is okay. There is a day that I will wake up and I will not be my best person, I will not be my favorite, you know. And it's just being able to go on about your day despite feeling like that, which is what will bring me to my next point. It is getting out of yourself, in the sense that having more things to do, having more things that define you other than how you look. Because on the days where genuinely how you look is not working, you can have something else to like put your mind to. You can focus on something else and be productive still, and not just like not be crippled by that feeling all the time, because that is where you have entirely put your worth. It's getting new hobbies, it's getting different things to do, so that your mind can get somewhere else to be, and not just on you where it's constantly putting you down. Learn what triggers you and how to cope, which is something that's not always 100%, because sometimes you will just get a random trigger when you're outside and you didn't even mean to. But it's knowing the places where, like, when you go there, you're going to get triggered, in the sense that, for example, like going online, I already know, like, even when I'm going to like scroll and stuff like that, I already know that there are chances, oh, you're going to see this person, you will see that person. But making sure that the minute you make sure that you have a more solid self-esteem, no matter what you see, no matter who you come across, it will not falter you. just because you have already built a stronger system from inside moving outside. I think one of the last ones is fill up your cup. Engage in what helps to radiate the best energy. What makes you happy? What makes you sing? What makes you feel alive, you know? Those are the things that I will engage in and tell myself that there is more to life. There is more to life than what I look like. There is more to life. There are more emotions to be felt. There are more amazing things to engage in, other than me constantly worrying about a standard that was not set by me, other than me worrying about a body that is functioning perfectly fine, but I'm just thinking so much about the aesthetics, and no, I refuse to be put down by that. I refuse. I think a really important one is to be around good people. Be around good people. Be around supportive friends. People who will remind you who you are when you're losing sight of yourself, when you're losing sight of your esteem. People who will tell you exactly what you can do. Not being around other vain people, because now even them, they will help you. They will make you feel worse about yourself. Be like, oh yeah, that's how you're looking today. Oh really? Wow, you could do this and this. No. It's about being around wholesome people, you know, so that when you're not able to fill up your own cup, there are people who can do that for you. So for me, that's honestly just how I have been surviving lately. And it's also just a daily dance, because some days are better than others, for sure. There are days I'm able to truly to restructure what I'm thinking. There are days I'm able to fill up my cup. There are days I'm able to get out of my head. There are days I'm able to remove myself from the situation. I'm able to affirm myself and stuff like that. But there are other days that is not working. It's just not working. And I have to be okay with that. I just have to be okay with that and let the day pass and just say put that day in rice and keep it moving and try again another time. My conclusion in this whole video is, if your looks are the most important thing about you, then you are absolutely boring. And I tell myself that over and over again when I find myself getting in over my head about how I look, because I tell myself there is so much more to life. There is so much more to being a human being than just the vessel that you have been put in, my sister. Please get up and go learn something. Please get up and go pick up a skill. Please get up and go root for yourself and apply for a job and try to get an income and go and be a better person in general, other than just always being oh my God, how do I look? No. It's about time we actually get past that, you know. The biggest one of them all that we all already know is that comparison really is the thief of joy, because one's beauty does not take away from your own. And I really try to tell myself that, and to hit the hammer on the head constantly, because every time I see somebody else who is pretty, I'm oh yeah, then they're pretty. No, then me, I can't be. Who said there's just one position, you know? Who said there's just one slot for being beautiful? And it's the fact that there are so many things that are beautiful in their own way, and I can see that, but for some reason I will put myself to the side. I will push myself. I'll kick myself to the curb and say, oh no, she doesn't deserve. No, there is so much beauty that can be appreciated. And the most important thing of all, as we wrap it up, is that if you don't think you're beautiful, no matter how many times other people tell you you are beautiful, you will never believe it, because it is an unending cup. Because it's it's a bottomless thing where people constantly validate you, but because it's not coming from inside, it will always run empty. And you will always live this life looking for validation from other people, and we already know that is quite the disaster, you know. So yeah, taking it day by day. Again, you win some, you lose some.